Hi, what's up, guys? How are y'all? Welcome back to the OS Rick Project, episode 65, the only podcast that promises to reset the bracket at Evo. Guys, how are y'all? How are what are you up to? What you been how have y'all been? Thank you for listening. Whether you're at work, on your way to work, or you're working out, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate it. Folks, tell me you had the opportunity and the chance to watch Evo 2023 this year. It was okay. Not only was it phenomenal and fun, and you know what, I am pleasantly surprised at the direction they've been going. This is the second year under under Sony, and you know what, they've been doing a good job. I've been enjoying it. I've been having fun. You know, sometimes in on finals day on Sunday, a little bit of ads from quite a bit of ads from from Chipotle and stuff like that. But you know what? They got to make their money. Understandable. It was cool. It wasn't so much that it completely shut me off. They got to have some of the production, the glitz and the glamour. They had the Capcom Cap Jams doing some music while some of the characters, some of the players were coming out. But before I go into top eight, before I get into finals day, let's just talk about what happened. I didn't watch Friday, and I watched most of it and I watched mostly Street Fighter Saturday evening. And man, it was a bloodbath. They had two streams going on. I was just bouncing from one to the other. When one went to commercial, I just went. When one went on break, I went to the other one, and I was just watching matches after matches. And some awesome matches were happening off stream, and it sucked that I couldn't watch them. But you know what? There was just it was a bloodbath, guys. It was insane. And then on Sunday, oh man, it was so much fun. And then Sunday, I started watching around. I saw a little bit of UMVC 3. While I was doing some chores, a little bit of Tekken while I was doing some chores. It wasn't until Strive, top eight. I believe it was top eight. I'm pretty sure it was top eight. And Street Fighter, or did they have top eight? What's top six for Strive? But for sure, on Street Fighter 6, it was top six. Watching the Strive, Oppenheimer playing Nagoro Yuki, watching Leffen play as Happy Chaos. Man, that was fun. And some people downplay Strive thing. It's kind of a baby's game, kind of easy and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a little bit easier, but it's still. I really do enjoy playing that game. Strive to me is really fun because I really got to. I played a little bit of Exert back in the day, but Strive really got me into it, into the series, and I really do enjoy doing the roaming cancels, and I think it's really fun. The style of it, the music, the aesthetics. Is there some issues with it? Yeah, there's some issues with it, but for the most part, playing it, it was fun, and just watching it, it was pretty cool. Nagoro Yuki's still really good, and of course, these are top world class players that these guys. On finals day, but watching Leffen playing Happy Chaos, like this guy's good. I kind of get the vibe where he's kind of like a little, kind of like a brat, whatever. But you know what? The guy's really good. You can't take that away from him. You can't take that away from him. He won in, I think he's an Evo champ for Melee, and now in Strive. So I mean, the kid's good. And watching his Happy Chaos, it was just ridiculous. So good job with that. Street Fighter, man, Street Fighter to get to where they got. Oh my god! Like I said, I was watching some of these Saturdays on Saturday, and just okay. So on the winner side, you had Kakaru piloting JP, Angry Bird with Ken, and then still on winner side, you had Haitani playing a modern Chun Li. Okay, modern, one of the gods of Street Fighter playing a modern Chun Li. You didn't see that one coming, right? Punk playing Cammy, and then on losers you had Mena RD playing with Guile. I'm sorry, playing with Blanca and Luke, and Tokido playing with Ken. So looking at the player list, we saw JP, Ken, Chun Li, Cammy, Blanca, Luke, and other Ken. And you know what? I saw some people on Twitter talking about, okay, whatever tier list you made, throw it out the window and make a new one, because it was a bloodbath. It was everywhere. I know a lot of people say they're going to see JP in top eight, on top six, and we did say JP, but he went 0-2. And I mean, look, he could have got a game if Kakuru could have got a game over Taquito if he didn't drop a combo. What else? Oh, and then seeing modern controls, right? We only saw one person in top six with modern controls. And as much as I bitch about it, it's like apparently when it comes on the pro side, modern. I mean, there was only one but made it, and it was Haitani. And having access to one button supers and specials, I mean, it worked for a good. It took him up there, but he lost to Punk, and he lost to is it Mena? I think he lost to Mena also. No, yeah, was it Mena? I gotta look it up. I gotta look up. It was. I mean, I stayed up way too late watching it. Way too late. Wait. Honestly, I thought they were gonna do the announcements after the matches for Street Fighter, and they had one before, and they revealed Aki. I'm getting some Fang poison vibes off of her, so we'll see how that goes. So she might be the next. She's gonna be the next character. No gameplay, just her cinematic trailer. So man, take it as it is. Oh, and they also had they're having a collab with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which to me, honestly, all that stuff they do with the avatars, I could care less. I really do not care. But it's fine. It is what it is. But that was the only reveal we got from Street Fighter. Of course, I would like to see more, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Just going back to top six for Street Fighter, I thought I was gonna see more, like kind of like what Yip said. I thought we were gonna see more dark horses, more unknown names up there, since it's such a new game, such a different game compared to what it was compared to its predecessor. But we saw Punk, Taquito, Mana, Angry Bird. So the names you saw there, are rightfully so. They belong there. They earned it. They did a good job. And guys, just right out the gate, the first game, Kakero versus Angry Bird, that was a nail biter. Those were really good games. And you know what? After watching this, seeing how Mena RD carries himself, like I'm starting to become a fan of Mena. The kid is just very passionate, just wants to go out. He goes out and travels the world just to get better and play the game. And you know what? He gets a little cocky sometimes, but he's just really good. He's good, and it shows. And though he got second place, and and dude, getting the bracket reset in grand finals, guys, it was Angry Bird versus Menardi. Menardi was actually able to reset the bracket, and then there was an accidental controller disconnect, and then Angry Bird and Mena, they're just like, let it rock, go, it's fine, it's fine. And I mean, it just shows you just the good sportsmanship, and that they're there just to play the game and have fun. And of course, $1 million on the line for first place. That's a nice. So good job for Angry Bird, taking it through. His can was just sick. The way he would put you in the corner and then use the standing heavy punch for the standing fierce for a poke to check you. It was good. I mean, it was nail biter matches. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I stayed up way too late. I think next time I'll just probably wait the next day and watch it on YouTube, because it was just, and not that it ran over. It because they're on. I believe they're on Western time, on West Coast time, on Pacific time, and here being in Central, it's going to be a little bit later than usual. So by the time it was all said and done, it was around 12:30 ish. So, yeah, it was a little bit late, but compared to what it was in the years before, I mean, these things used to go like super late. And I also believe it's because of what the games they have and the form that they're doing. I think they had. I think last year they had Dragon Ball was running late. I think Mortal Kombat was running late. I mean, just it's just the FGC time. The FGC is never on time, dude. If there's something supposed to start, there's something happens, and of course, with the production value, you got to get people on set, the announcers, and everything. Also, I don't know if you guys saw it, but they said like the mayor of Las Vegas was there, and he provided a trophy to the Cannon brothers because they're founders of Evo, along with the rest of the team and everything. But they named August 6th Evo Day. Awesome. But then next year, Evo's gonna be like in late July. So it's like you guys gonna have Evo Day, but not Evo on that day. Like, oh man, the schedule. Like, you guys can't work something out with the scheduling or something. Um, but yeah, seeing a Haitani with a modern Chun Li, 0-2, and then seeing a JP up there, like man, okay. But everybody else, like, it was just insane. I can't wait. I think the game is still. I mean, and you know what else made me feel good about myself watching the game is that even the pros get hit by drive impact. So even the pros are getting nailed by it. So me being a boomer and sometimes not being able to react to it, it's not just me. It's not just me. Even the pros get caught with it sometimes too. So I mean, it is what it is. I don't feel too bad about it. And honestly, playing the game more and more, I'm starting to adjust and get used to it. Learning that make sure you lead with buttons that you can cancel into a drive impact and stuff. So that was super fun. Of course, with all that Evo, uh, with all that Evo news, there's a lot of announcements that went out. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me get my notes at. Let me get my notes at. Where did I start my notes at? Um, no, because I jumped around, guys. I was jumping a lot. So okay. So anyway, I think I might have mentioned it already, but on Steam, there's some fighting games going on sale, which is what is weird to me is season 2 for Guilty Gear Strive is not on sale. That's a little bit odd. I would like to pick it up because I want to pick up some of the stages, um, but only if it's on a deep discount. As cool as Bedman looks, as cool as Sin Kiske looks, I'm not interested in Brigitte. I'm not interested in Asuka. Well, maybe Sin Kiske. I might pick him up. Just I might just pay the $7 and pick him up. But that season just it didn't draw me in. Some of the characters did look cool, but it's not really for me. Although they did announce that Johnny will be returning for season 3, and he looks cool. I think he still has Miss Finer and all his other some of his moves. Oh, they're adding so not only Johnny coming back, but they plan on adding some new moves for giving some characters some new moves for season 3, and they're adding some new game mechanics. I think like something it has to do with dust, like oh, I didn't write down the names. I'm sorry, guys. But they're adding some new moves, so they're adding some more stuff to the game, which is fine. I think, and eventually that's something you gotta go. If you're in the third season, third year, you gotta start adding some stuff to the game. I'm just glad Strive is still going on because I know some people kind of like crap on it, but for me, it actually is a fun game. And I've been having a blast. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. So we're getting. I think they announced that. Was it last year? Was it last year? I don't remember, guys. I don't remember, or it could have been something else. Maybe it could have been another King of Fighters event, or I don't know what. But yeah, they're gonna have another a Fatal Fury game coming out. But I'm not too sure how Fatal Fury plays. I remember playing it a long time ago when I was younger, but I can't recall my memory of it. But I don't know if it's gonna be kind of like King of Fighters, where it'll have a team of 3 persons, or it's just a 1v1, and then you have like and have its own certain mechanics. I'm not too sure. I have to look it up, but the protagonist in that one is Rock Howard and um, Terry Bogard. So look out for that. We'll see how it goes. I mean, hopefully, when that game comes out or gets near to release, the SNK will kind of learn from the mistakes that they did with King of Fighters 15. Just kind of make sure everything in the game is just ready to go and not have too many bugs, because honestly, that's what turned me off. Is just I mean, I did play it when it first came out. I was having lots of fun learning the game, but then just having issues with the lobby, it just really just turned me off from the experience. And by then, I just kind of just got back on Street Fighter and Guilty Gear, and I just haven't gone back to King of Fighters, which is unfortunate because I did have fun playing as Robert, Blue Mary, and Ralph. Because I mean that was fun. Those characters are they felt very unique to each other, and it was really cool. What else do we have? Oh, Under Nights in Birth 2, System Celeste for PS4, the 5, Switch, and Steam, early 2024. So that's Arc System and Friendship Bread. So just looking at the game, it looks like they cleaned it up a little bit. The artwork looks just more refined. The characters all seems like all the characters from the last games plus the final DLC character they added, Landreka, I believe is the name of that. I don't know if it's a he or she. I don't know what it was. They seem to be all returning, and it looked like they are bringing back 3 new characters. You saw like a little silhouette of 2 characters, and then someone who looked like to be like maybe like a antagonist or the bad guy or the villain or the boss in one of the final scenes. So maybe they're adding new characters, but they should add new characters because then it just becomes in birth. Then it becomes Unist in birth, or whatever the freaking ridiculous name is, Port or something like that. So they're adding some new. It looks like they're adding some new characters. Unist, guys, is really a fun game. I enjoyed it a lot. It's French bread, so it's the same guys who made Melty Blood, Type Lumina, and Melty Blood was it just didn't visually draw me into the game, and if it doesn't visually draw me, it's just if it doesn't visually draw me, like if I can't get connected to some of these characters because they just look kind of boring, honestly. With Eunice, you have more of these you have these more like these monster characters, Waldstein, Merkava, and then either other even the characters like like Carmine and Gordo and Hilda. I mean, they all look super cool. They really do, and that really is a fun game, guys. The fact that it's getting rollback, I'm excited. It's probably gonna be a day one purchase for me because Eunice it really is a fun game, guys. It's like I heard a lot of people will describe it as American anime. It's still kind of bouncing around and fast, but it's a little bit more grounded compared to your traditional anime fighters. So take it as it is, but I'll be playing. I'll be playing Baldstein and freaking Hyde, and even I'm drama. I'm Markaba. Killer Instinct getting their 10th anniversary update later this year. A balance update, improved matchmaking, 4K support for Xbox X and S. So, I might have mentioned this before, guys. Microsoft still owns Rare, I believe. And I know Killer Instinct was made by Rare or is an IP to Microsoft. I'm not too sure how that works anymore. I gotta follow that up. But I know I've said before that Microsoft has access to Killer Instinct and they haven't done anything with it. Now, the fact that this is getting an update after 10 years, it wants to get, and I'm doing the thing where you see Hawkeye, aka Ronan talking to freaking Black Widow's like, don't give me hope. Start crying in the rain. Don't do that. Don't give me hope. That's how I feel right now. Like, because I think Killer, like, I don't know, fighting games don't make money. That's why. Fighting games don't make money, but it's not about the money, right, guys? It's about your fans. They have something that they have something, even though it's not major, even though it's not a freaking Halo, even though it's not a Forza, even though it's not a Starfield, Microsoft has something that they only have, and there's a community still wanting to play it, and they did a really good job with it. From what I heard of, I've seen documentaries of Killer Instinct and the people and the fan base. They got something there. And I'm hoping with this update that they're going to maybe somewhere down the road, maybe look at doing a Killer Instinct, the next generation, Killer Instinct 3 or whatever it is. I mean, I don't know, some sort of another iteration of the game because I think that'd be dope. That'd be awesome. I've heard a lot of people say, the way the game was handled with characters, they did a really good job with it. Actually, let you test them out and play them before you buy them and stuff. Um, what else? It was just all around just a really well received package, and the developers listened a lot to the community, and they were and work with them to make the game as as best as they can, and that's wonderful. That's awesome. I would like to see more of that. And like I said, I wish I knew what the idea of what got the conversation started to go back and visit Killer Instinct, but regardless, I'm just happy that they are going back and going to revisit the franchise because it's unfortunate. My first exposure to Killer Instinct was way back in the day on the Super Nintendo, and then again on the Nintendo 64 Killer Instinct Gold, and I always thought the it's one of those really simple systems, but had very you had to be very aware of what your of how the game flows and how your character your opponent plays, because if you could get your nice you could get like either a light medium heavy in between one of the links to the combos, you could get a combo breaker, and it was just very stylish and cool. I mean, it was really fun. And I remember just having a really good time with it. And I'm just excited. I could keep going on, but honestly, they haven't forgot about Killer Instinct, and to me that's just it's going in the right direction for me, and I can't wait. Hopefully, they'll do some more stuff. 4K support for Xbox X and S, cool. That's awesome. It is a really pretty game, also, guys. What else do we got for news? Oh yeah, unfortunately, for Dragon Ball Fighters fans, it looks like the rollback is still not released after announced back in 2022. So it's been over a year now. It's been a year now since they've announced rollback netcode, and Fighter still hasn't gotten it. And that's very unfortunate. That's unfortunate because I I I can only speculate on why they haven't done it. And take your pick, right? Pick your poison. COVID, they don't have enough manpower, or maybe they're working on another IP, or maybe I don't know. Pick one. But it's just when you say something like that and give your fan base, and I don't play Dragon Ball. I dabbled with it for a little bit. It was a fun game, but I never stuck with it. When you tell your fan base you have something that's going to really improve the quality of the game and maybe even breathe some new life to it, and then you go a whole year and and still delaying it, it's just unfortunate. And I really wish they could sort whatever they have going on and get this thing rolling out, because it'll just put the game in an even better place. As much offline events are here, they're back. We just see with Evo and stuff like that. But sometimes people don't have the ability to go out to locals, and they have to play online. And I believe you really should do that in this modern time. You guys heard me talk about it before. Um, what else did we get for? What else did we get for fighting games? Was that it? Was it? Oh, we had a new character being announced. Wait, they announced a new character. They announced a new character for Tekken, right? The Peruvian girl that like drinks a lot of coffee. She doesn't interest me. It's fine. Um, what else, guys? I think that was it. I think that was it. But let me know what y'all's experience with Evo. Did you guys have a chance to go? I know I have a few friends that went out there and took pictures, and it was good to see some pictures. It was fun. I know whether you guys went had a chance to go see it or watch it. What was y'all's experience? What did y'all think of it? Did you have fun? Did you enjoy it? Honestly, I give it all overall. I mean, I give it an A. I think they did a really good job. It was fun. Things were going on. A couple of breaks here and there to getting different games ready. But and having freaking on top six, having Yipes and Sajam on commentary was wonderful. I enjoyed it. Sajam is so much fun to listen to. He really knows the game, and same with Yipes. Yipes he's a character. He's always been one of my favorites ever since. I would watch a spooky stream on Wednesday night on an LBC on Wednesday nights. Yipes has just been one of my favorites commentators. So every time when I see those two guys get together and talk, it's great. What's the other guy that does it? The other guys that do it before, James Chen, and the what's his fucking name? You know what I'm talking about, right, guys? Anyways, but they didn't have them there this year. They weren't there. I don't know what I don't know what happened. I don't know, scheduling conflict. Or they just didn't want them. They want somebody else. I don't know. But the fact that they have God damn it, what is that dude's name? I can't think of it. I forget. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the fact that Sajam and Yipes were commentary, it was wonderful. I loved it. It was cool, so cool. Going back to Street Fighter Six, top six. It was great. It was so much fun. So much fun. What else, guys, do we want to talk about? Let's talk about some non-fighting games, right? For all you normies who are listening that don't play fighting games, let's talk about just some regulars. Let's talk about some good old turn-based RPGs, right? Baldur's Gate 3 on Steam had an all-time peak of over 700,000 concurrent players. That's insane. That's insane. In the most positive way. I'm happy for them. Larian games, I have played them for a little bit. I never played them to completion, but they are fun games and they're more up the alley for like what my wife likes to play. So I purchased the early access for her sometime last year, and she played it with it for a little bit. That was okay. I think she got stuck somewhere, then put it away, whatever. And then she decided to wait till the game was gonna finally come out, and then it did. She downloaded it again, and she's been having a good time. Not only, I mean, she wasn't a fan of playing on mouse and keyboard. Understandable, it's not for everybody. But she was able just to plug in a controller and just started playing just like that. That was awesome. That was great. Yeah, you have to go like kind of cycle through some menus more because you don't have it at the tip of your fingertips with mouse and keyboard and stuff. But just cycling through the menus, she was able to go through it and she her experience with the game was she said it was just way better just playing with the controller, and that's fine. Everybody has different methods of wanting to play the game, different peripherals. Um, but so let's get this straight, guys. Let's get this straight. So this game had no de novo, no microtransactions, no season passes, no costume DLC or colors, no in-game purchases. It's been in early access since the late 2020, and look what they did with it. They have this is going to be contender for game of the year. People are talking about it. It's and what I would consider, in my opinion, what will be a GOTY, a game of the year for me, is when it actually gets the needle moving or it gets the culture to talk about it. When you start seeing people posting about just their character development and what they're doing and all the shenanigans that they've been experienced and all the fun stuff, when it starts going online and starts going viral and making clips on Twitter, that's when this is a contender for game of the year. And I believe this is going to be it. This could be it. And honestly, I wouldn't mind if this one takes it. I wouldn't mind. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is up there for discussion. Of course, we have Baldur's Gate 3. It's not out yet, but I'm sure Starfield will probably be a contender for it. And possibly, and depending on how it gets received, Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2. I wouldn't be surprised if those are also contenders for GOTY. But this just lets you know, guys. And honestly, when my wife was playing the game on the PC, we had no issue. And I'm playing on. She's been using that PC. If you guys are looking in the video, the PC in the background here, that one is a. It has a 3090 in there and an i7 12600K CPU, and it's handling it, no issues, and it's a well-rounded machine. It can handle it, right? But I haven't heard people talking about it was not optimized for PC, or it's been crashing, or full of bugs, or unplayable. I haven't heard any of that. What does that tell you guys? What does that tell you when you see a developer spend all these years getting feedback and getting out bugs and going through the game and making it the best possible version of themselves? They actually like sped up. Good. Like guys, I'm not a big fan of Baldur's Gate or Larian games. I'm not the biggest fan of them. But what I will applaud is the fact that they're doing something what has been what the other people's they're doing something different. They're doing something right. Where a lot of these companies are just giving this, oh, it's not optimized, or we have to push it back, or we're gonna have to delay, and giving you this whole like trying to make that the norm. No, this is how you're supposed to do it. Just like how Larian Studios did it. They're doing a great job. They did a great job, and I'm really happy for them. And I hope you guys are also playing the game and having a good time, because, I mean, Dungeons and Dragons over the last couple of years has exploded. Its popularity has just gone crazy, from the animated show on Amazon. I think it's called Vox Machina, I believe. My wife's a fan of. Of course, they got the Critical Roles stream on Twitch, where these guys just play D&D. You have the movie that came out. If you like, emasculated man, it's fine. And then you have Baldur's Gate, all based off of D&D, and of course, D&D just been on a freaking roll. It's been popular, and now, and I just think that helped with the success of the game. I mean, I'm not trying to take away any of what the team did of making the game fun, and having people talk about it and having it come out and actually being a playable game from day one. I'm not trying to take any away from that. And somebody brought up a good point. Somebody brought up a good point on Twitter, and I wish I would have wrote. I wish I would have thought who did it. But a turn-based game like this, which has over seven, that had a record of over 700,000 concurrent players. Where is Square Enix's excuse about turn based is not something that people want? That people now just gotta want, when they push a button, they want a reaction. They want this instant stuff. Like, I really hope that the people, the big wigs over there at Square Enix in Japan are looking at the success of Baldur's Gate and are saying, you know what, turn-based is viable, but you have to make it right. You have to make it good. You can't just rest on your laurels, and you can't just rest on what you were years ago with a franchise that has name, that has clout. And Final Fantasy does have a lot of clout. It does have a lot attached to it, but you can't rely on that, and you have to innovate, and you have to be good, and you have to be great storytellers, and gameplay, and have all that good stuff, because we've seen what Larian did. It's been a success story so far. We'll see how the game continues to pan out, but right now it seems like it's on in a very good spot, and it will stay there. So I'm shouts out to Larian Studios. Good job for them, guys. And I really hope this becomes something of an eye opener for these other studios, especially something like Square Enix. Which I enjoy Square Enix. I enjoy SquareSoft, right? I mean, they really shaped and formed how I enjoy games. I love JRPGs, it's unfortunate that they think that turn-based strategy, that turn-based gameplay is outdated and no one wants to play it, because I think what Larian Studios did with Baldur's Gate 3 proved that is not true. That is not true. That you could make a really fun turn-based game if you know how to have awesome characters and good story and make things interactive and just a great product just out the box. So good job with them, and I really hope I hope this shakes things up. Man, that's just awesome. I'm just happy to hear that, guys. That's something you just love to see that. You literally love to see that when you see a game come out like that, come out right. Because how many times have I said it, guys? This year has been freaking peaks and valleys. Every year you get stinker games, but man, did we see some just terrible stuff. Cause I mean, not only I'm not just saying just terrible stuff like Golem, right? I'm talking about some games that come out and they're kind of you're not really performing, and it's been a trend for the last couple of years. We know who they are. Y'all know who y'all are. So I'm just glad that what's going. Let's change it to the for the positive, right? For the better. Um, let's go back to while we're talking about games. Oh, let's talk about the June sales from NPD, the National Purchase Diary. I always feel like the information that the National Purchase Diary (NPD) does, NPD report. I feel it's really good information. I think it's fun, especially, and they cover other industries also, but always just look at the video game one because it kind of lets you know where games are going in a certain direction, and the game industry also. Matt Piscatella, he does a lot of the information over there, and he'll tweet out some stuff. And he'll give you charts and graphs and let you know, like, hey, this year, this month, game spending, and I'm just spinning out numbers here, guys. He'll say stuff, and I'm paraphrasing also. He'll say stuff like, games spending on peripherals had gone up X% compared to last year, or it's been down compared to last year. And you see, some of these numbers are in the billions, and that's just letting you know that gaming isn't just a hobby, a niche hobby anymore. It's for better or worse, it's everywhere now. You know, there is some pros and cons to that. We know that, guys. So looking at the June NPD sales, I'm not gonna rattle all of them, guys. I'm just gonna go for the top five. So in June, top five selling games. What do you think they were? What do you think? Yeah. Yep. 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 You said Diablo. That was number one. Diablo 4 was the I guess I don't know if there's are they counting how much money it made or just sales? Probably just sales on just copy sold, I guess. I gotta go look it up. I gotta look it up because no, it has to. You think it would be just money generated? Because how come sometimes you see, and I know I would talk about this with Ruben like a couple years ago when we used to do our podcast, because sometimes we would see Grand Theft Auto up there. It's like, how's Grand Theft Auto still up there? Everybody owns the game. Are they really still selling that much more copies? Or are they just making revenue from like the in-game purchases and stuff? I gotta look that up, guys. I gotta look that up whether it's just copies sold or just money generated from the game, whether it's from game sales or in-game purchases, microtransactions, character passes, blah blah blah. We gotta look that up. But best-selling game would okay. We're just gonna say best-selling right now. Best-selling according to NPD, number one, Diablo 4. Yeah, kind of see all that one. Um, I didn't pick it up for myself. I really not a fan of Activision Blizzard. That's just my own personal choice. I don't like how they do their video games. The fact that they're always doing like ESG scores and bullshit like that, and they only pick characters to certain fit, to check off boxes and shit when they do with Overwatch. I'm not a fan of that, and I know that's Overwatch team. I don't know how much that affects the Activision, how much that affects the Diablo team. But you know what? I just choose not to support it. If you guys want to play those games, that's fine. That's just me personally. I just don't care for Activision Blizzard. That being said, um, at number two, Final Fantasy 16, which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. June was a big month for video games, and it being an exclusive for Sony and PS5 at that. That to me, that's pretty impressive. I think that they did a good job there. I think I saw somewhere, and I can't. I can't, I didn't read it up, but I just saw like a headline somewhere where I think like Square Enix says uh, Final Fantasy 16 wasn't as big as a success as they wanted it to be. I gotta look up into. I think I jotted it down somewhere, so I'll go back and look it up, and I'll talk about it next week. But yeah, being at spot number two for an exclusive for the current gen for the PlayStation 5, I think that's pretty good. I've been playing the game. Um, I played a lot in the beginning of July. I kind of put it down a little bit just to play some more Street Fighter, but I have been playing it an hour here, an hour there throughout the week. And by the way, guys, I'll be going on vacation next week, so I plan on putting more hours into it and hopefully put it away because where I last left off talking to one of my buddies, he said I was probably in the ballpark of, maybe like 20 hours to go. So hopefully, and I have been doing all the side quests and stuff, and the bounties. So hopefully, we could put that game behind us and set it away. But I have been having a good time. The combat is phenomenal. You guys know how I feel about it. The cutscenes are too much, but you know, at number two. At number three, we have Street Fighter 6, which surprised, not surprised. Surprised that it's up there because it's a fighting game. And fighting games tend to be just, it tends to be like me and like, people who like know what Evo, what Evo is. You go to, you gotta ask someone, what's an Evo? They're like, I don't know, is that a car or something? No, it's a fighting. Well, it is a car, but it's also a fighting game tournament. You know, but Street Fighter 6, being number 3 for June, they did. I'm not. I'm also not surprised that it did so well because looking at the numbers for Evo having over 7,000 entrants, so I mean that had to. I mean, I'm sure this is. I'm pretty sure that was a lot of first time going to Evo for some folks, and maybe even the first time playing Street Fighter 6 for some other folks also. So Street Fighter, good for them. I still I play the game, but when I play the game, guys, I'm honestly just doing rank matches. I'll do rank matches, and on occasion I'll go into the battle hub and hang out there. But I have not really got into the whole world tour mode. I played it for a little bit. I thought it was interesting. You were getting to learn the game, but after a while, it's just like, oh my god, okay. Well, now what do you want me to do now? And like at this point, I'm just kind of walking around waiting until I find Guile, so I could like work my bond level and get my freaking purchase Guile's outfit. Speaking of Guile's outfit, you see the new one that Capcom released that was going to release for Guile, that new outfit. It looks pretty cool. I'm not going to get it. It looks pretty cool, but I'm getting some Terry Bogard vibes out of it. Like it looks like Terry Bogard without the jacket. It looks pretty cool though. It looks pretty cool. At number 4, we had Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, still holding strong, doing a good job there. The buzz around the game has died down a bit, but you know what? I mean, the fact that it's at number 4 for just a single player game, it's still doing. It's in a good spot. It's in a good spot. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if that. Not only would it be a contender for a game of the year, but it looks like just out of the popularity of it, could possibly be the winner of the GOTY. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, guys. And and you guys heard me say this a million times before. If one of your games that you enjoy very much does get Game of the Year or doesn't get Game of the Year, it doesn't matter. These accolades don't mean crap. They don't. Okay. How you feel about the game at the end of the day, the experience you get with it, and the joy you have when you get to play the game with your friends or your online buddies or whatever, the experience you have, that's what matters. And then at number 5, we got Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know about Hogwarts Legacy. I know I remember talking to some of my friends saying that if you remove the Harry Potter IP, it just becomes a generic open world game where you're just a wizard, and that's about it. And that's how I feel about it. I mean, I enjoy Harry Potter. I read the books, but I really don't care much for the game. I never had an interest and I never felt the need to want to pick up the game and play it. But I heard it's in a good spot. What else, guys? Anything else that we need to talk about before we wrap it up? I know we kind of went into it already. Oh yeah, one more thing I did want to bring up, guys. On Street Fighter 6 during pools, there was a player named Blind Warrior Sven. You might have heard of him, guys. He is blind, and he was playing the game and actually won several matches. And I believe that I'm not here to take away anything away from the man. I'm not trying to take anything away from the man, But I do believe, Capcom doing these accessibility features where it gives you certain ping noises when you're in proximity to your opponent, or just having these different features where, people with disabilities that can play the game, those type of features, I'm all for. I'm all for people that have some disabilities that they have no control over, whether it's blind, deaf, colorblind, missing no use of an appendage or something. The fact that they could do stuff like that and play the game, I'm all for. You know, and I would like to see more game developers do that. My only issue is when they start confusing accessibility for comforts. You know, where they start, and this conversation was really big when Elden Ring was coming out, right? Where a lot of people were talking about like, they don't even give you indicators on when your opponent's gonna attack you from off screen. It's like, so, and and I mean, you get good, motherfucker. Oh, that's another thing too. I did see a video where a lot of people were kind of saying they were kind of like mad at Baldur's Gate's success, saying that like, oh, that's good for them, but that's not sustainable. That's not that can't be the norm for the industry, which got me thinking. I think these guys kind of like similar to last year when Elden Ring came out, where a lot of people were mad. They're saying like, yeah, this isn't really good game design. Like, what do you guys know about good game design? All you guys know is how to make money by pumping your game full of freaking just either mini maps and layers of dialogue and text and little things to point you where to go and stuff like that. They did something that was really well. And just because it isn't the norms of what's been going on with other people, with other developers that try to squeeze the money out of the consumers, good for them. Good for them. And I'm again going back to what Larian Studios did with their game. Great. But yeah, I just want to talk about that, guys. But yeah, he was able to win a couple of matches just using, the accessibility features and stuff like that. And you just love to see that. You just love to see it, right? Anyways, guys, I think I've rambled on long enough. Guys, if you don't play fighting games, try them out. Try them out. I know a lot of people will say something like, "Oh, they're too hard," or "I just can't get into it." I can't react. Like, yeah, you can. Trust me. You play a lot of different games. You could react to stuff like that. You can execute. You can move things. You can move your hands in a certain way. Trust me. If you can hold a controller and you could do the stuff and you play other games, you can do it with fighting games also. But there's something when it comes to fighting games when you start overcoming and getting better at your shortcomings, and you start learning, you start adapting, you start executing better, and it's just so much fun. It could, instead of playing the one game that all you gotta do is click point, hit the box, wait till all the confetti and loot falls out, and then go to another one and just grind, and then wait for more loot to come out, and then wait for this so they can sell you something. Play a fighting game. They're fun, guys. And it feels really good when you actually winning is your reward, and you're gonna lose, but that's part of the process, though. And honestly, when you lose, learn from it. Not just fighting games, but in anything, right? Every time you get knocked down or to have to take a step back, learn from it. And fighting games are a good example of that, because you'll start seeing where like you need to start you start recognizing what you need to work on. And I think that's a good skill to have. Not only just in games, but like in real life, where you need to work on, and don't get stuck in your old ways. Anyways, guys, I was gonna go a little bit deeper, but you know what? I think at the 50-minute marks, I think we're in a good spot. Anyways, guys, go play some games. Have a good time. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you go get some eat right, exercise, get some fresh air. If you guys are working outside, get lots of water. It's been hot, guys. It's just been ridiculously hot, and there's like no rain in sight, especially if you live down here in the Gulf Coast, Texas. Okay. Guys, I will be on vacation next week, so I do plan on doing a lot more streaming, and of course, working on the podcast. If you guys have any suggestions or you want to help out, you guys can reach me out on Twitter at os_r1ck. I'm always down to have a conversation. Listen, guys, I still stream, but I just don't throw out the links on Twitter, because that's when I think the bots catch a sniff out the links, and they start pouring into the chat, and it's just annoying because they start coming in there and they start telling you, oh yeah, you have a nice stream, but we can make it better if you buy some of our emotes. Like, I don't want your emotes. Let's start asking y'all these weird ass questions. Anyways, it gets super weird. Guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care of yourselves. Have fun. Play some games. Do other good stuff. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys. See ya.